Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals. As grand finales here of the LiuLi Cup Weekly number 8. It's been an intense broadcast. It's been a very, very intense broadcast so far. We've had some highs, we've had some lows, we've had some Protoss, some Terran, some Zerg rise and fall throughout the entire tournament. And now we have our top 2 players. And what a finals as well. The best Protoss and the best Terran in the world going to be facing off in a best of 5. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Again, when it comes to these two, I do typically lean towards Classic. When it comes to the previous patch, I should say, like Classic, he has had a very strong record, especially in recent months against Clem. Whether it's in RSL, whether it's in EWC, these big major events, Classic has been the one to stop and stand in the way of Clem. But now we have a new patch, of course. Now it is, of course, a little bit later in the season as well. Clem hot off the win at Maestros of the Game. True did just become our champion over the weekend, and we'll see if we can ride that high to take down Classic as well. Personally, regardless of how this goes, I want to see a game 4. I would love to see a game 5. I want to see a series. Regardless, I don't want to see a 3-0 in either direction. Give us a series, baby. Let's go. Yo, meanwhile, share my in the chat, baby. Share my big shout out to Kashim for subscribing for 24 months, 2 years of support, baby. Oh my god, Kashim. Gracias, baby, gracias. Jenky. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. As for now, we are going to be selling in. We do have our standard opener out of Classic. Likewise, we do see a double gas out of Clem. Double gas opener, faster factory. This can lead into more committed Reaper Hellion. This can lead into, of course, committed Widowmine play as well. We saw that last game. Show us what you got. And of course, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is one of the more aggressive maps of the map. Full aggression is favored loading into Pylon. And we'll see who will be the aggressor. I typically favor Terran on Pylon, but we'll see if a Classic can keep up. But now Classic does zone away. Does open Twilight Council. Attempt to shade across the map, and we'll look to delay the CC. But the Hellion is here, and the Hellion should buy time. Despite that, never mind. There we go. Reaver makes it home. Adept is dealt with. Hellion survives, actually. Oh my god, on 2 HP. The Hellion does survive. And with that, so the CC will get up and running. And the command center will get up. And Clem will hold. So better start here for Clem. Better start. Clem does rotate towards the natural. Again, with his momentum, able to pick up an Adept. No major damage, does not get into a mineral line. So far, some Solid Sim City here at a Classic. He does almost fully wall off. With his Gateway, this is Robo. Takes the 3rd gas here at the natural, most likely into another gas geyser. Looks like very safe play. Yep, 4 gases by Classic. Builds up to 4 gases. Oh. Cleans up most of the Reapers. They do trade. Players, they trade back and forth. Widowmine dropping to the main. Classic. Ooh, does pull the boys. He pulls the boys in. Widowmines, they do on borrow. And the Widowmine shots will go up. He's denying a lot of mine time in the main base. Not bad. Again, we saw something similar from Clem previously. Oh, Jesus. Mine shot goes off. 3 probes. Very nice. Gets 3 probes. Denies mining. Drop into the natural. 4 probes in total, and Classic holds. So once again, a nice start here from Clem. behind us, getting ready for his push, building up. A little bit supply blocked. So Clem going for his own 3-1-1 setup into Stim. Meanwhile, we see Classic. He went up to 3 gateways, into a Robo, into most likely Temple Archives, into a delayed third base. So delayed third out of Classic. More bringing extra Shulkers. Classic is supply blocked. Ay. There's that Temple Archives again. Storm on 2 bases. If you remember, this is what Max Specs did not do in the final game of his series. They do get behind the mineral line. CV's going to be going down. We get some nice damage. No losses for Classic. So Classic, he is slowly recovering. Nice feedback. Feedback shuts down the drop. Classic containing his opponents, and we should soon be expanding. Again, it is a late third base. True, it is a late third, but at the same time, this is designed to hard counter hyper-aggressive builds. And Clem will expand. CC is on the way. So both players building up into the mid game. Both players are getting there. Let's peel up across the map. Classic trading well. Nice pickups. But can he defend his third? Storm is done. But there's not much of a gateway army. Classic is racing back home. Ooh, that's a kill! Yeah, it's a kill, not a cancel. Brutal loss there for Classic, and Clem is going for the kill. He's moving out. I mean, he already sniped the expansion. Clem now going for the army. Drop is getting called out. Clem, where are we going? We'll try to take out one of the Templar. Storm is still a factor. And Clem, I'd imagine the goal is to just deny the third base again for a second time. Now pulls back. Pulls back home, regroups. I mean, again, so far it's just been a very strong start for Clem. That's why we do see the supply disparity in favor of Clem. Does have the larger army. Now the question becomes, what can Clem do with this lead? Because, hey, Storm is done. With Storm, Classic, he can try to slow the game down. As he has 6 Templar. Clem chilling back at home. I do like this. Like, there's no need for Clem to push. He already killed the third, right? He already killed it once. Alright, shots. Ooh, 2 connects. Jesus. Brutal Wine connection. Stalker's moving in. Mind shot the Zealots. D's an EMP. Grazing the army. Oh, looking for another EMP. Classic pulls away. Colossal production soon on the horizon. Almost done with the bay. Clem, he's getting there.
Upgrade complete.
As he does actually supply the entire army. Uh-oh. Classic doesn't know. Meanwhile, Clem out of position, completely out of position. Third base is going to go down. Ooh, nice time for the Prism. Prism does fall, unloads into the main, denies +2. He stays in the storm. Yeah, not paying attention. Not quite paying attention. There's the recall. And Classic, he holds. Wow, he defends back at home and he denies the base. Ay, ay, ay. A better trade for Classic. These are the picks that he does need to be able to recover. As Clem is rotating. He's rotating over, looking for a way in. He's going to be pushing into 5 High Templar, sorry, 6 Templar. It's a lot of Storm. Oh, he actually sniped the bait. Okay. They sniped the bait. There's the first Storm. Oh, good. Yeah, the Storm does a lot of damage. Another Storm as well. Keeps on zoning. And Clem just going to move in. Yeah, he cannot push forward. Brutal. Oh my god, he stands in the Storms. The Storms are brutal. Clem, he cannot gain ground. He cannot push in. And Classic defends. Classic defends back at home. Clem has to back the hell off. And as you can see here, it's so difficult to push into the Storms. Buys so much more time. And remember, we're soon going to be done with the Storms, as the bay is now rebuilt. So we're getting to Colossus. The Colossus are amassing. Ooh, does get another feedback. Again, Clem was ahead. Clem, he was in a better position until he lost the third, right? Until he committed to drop into the main base, where he lost the drop itself and he lost control of his third base. Like, everything just went south very quickly for Clem. That's why he was forced into a counterattack into 6 High Templar. And Classic, he's done it. He's getting into the mid game. He's building up into the mid game. Getting into Extendable Lance. Clem likewise getting a 4th base. And the game is slowing down. We'll see if Classic can keep up. So I'll say attempt to run by. Let me defends. Again, both armies are going to max out. And the question becomes, like, what armies are we maxing out with? So from the side of Clem, we do have 5 ghosts. We have an okay ghost count. We do have a decent Viking count as well. We're slowly building up those Vikings. Second Robo's on the way. We discussed this earlier, but in PvP, once we get into a 4-base economy, then we can start disruptors. So disruptor production should be on the horizon to get out of Storm and out of Colossus. So we're getting there. Meanwhile, Clem, his wing condition, his end goal is going to be Liberators. If you recall, we saw that in the Trigger series between Clem and Trigger. But Clem is still a ways away. Second starport's in production. Both armies are maxing out. That is going to be the 4th Colossus here for Classic. And you can see Classic ready for a run by himself. This is also where Storms are actually going to be more useful harassing as well, to harass mineral lines and to deny repairs on planetaries. Just because Storm lasts so long, SCVs cannot repair. That's Classic, he does distract. You can see he's diverting the attention of Clem. The harassing army is now activated. He's going for the expansion. Clem is distracted. Here comes the run by. Oh, now moving in. Clem, he responds. Storm in the bunker. Bunker goes down. Oh, and Clem is getting caught out. Yeah, he's getting caught out, bleeding out Marauders. Oof. I mean, Clem, he will deal with this harassing force. But the main army is pushing in. Yeah, now going for the planetary war. The Storms. Yeah, Storm stays on away. He's throwing the main army. Storm on the Vikings. Vikings going to be going down. And Classic is overwhelming. Yeah, he's overwhelming. The Storms are brutal. He's moving into the Storms. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, stepping into the Storms. GG gets called. And Classic, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Classic able to slow the game down. Again, this was a better start for Clem. Clem, he had momentum early on. He had a very nice start, dealing damage, killing the third base, but everything went wrong when he went for the drop. If you remember, he went for a triple drop into the main base. At the same time, his army was in position at his 4th expansion as well. His 3rd was exposed, and a lot happened at once. With Clem dropping into the main, he lost the 3 drops. He didn't really get much value. He denied +2, and he also killed the Robotics Bay. True, he did take down some tech, but that's all he got. At the same time, as he was also going to be losing that drop, we also saw that Classic pushed into the 3rd. He pushed into the 3rd base, he got 8 SCV kills, he denied mining, he was able to deal economic damage and recover in that game, because up until that moment, Clem was in a better position, and Classic clawed his way back in. GG. GG, well played. With that, Classic, he was able to slow the game down, able to max out himself, and able to embrace that more Colossus Storm heavy composition. And now we're getting into game 2. Let's go. Getting into game 2. And we'll see where this series takes us. Likewise, I'm also a little bit concerned for Clem, just because aggression is favored on Pylon. He did make use of it, of course, wasn't able to kill Classic, but we saw Classic play very safely, and we do expect to see that moving forward coming into the rest of these games. Is more hyper safe play from the Protoss player. Now we'll see what the vetoes were, and we'll see what maps we're leading into. We'll see. See the chat. Ducklings, it's me, the Zerg Lord. Kappa, papi, kappa. Este Zerg Troll, papi. Good to see you, good to see you. It's been a while, it's been a while. Much love, papi, much love. The Zerg Troll, obviously, he is one of the OGs, one of the OG supporters of the Ducklings. Much love, much love. Este Zerg Troll. But I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Papi. I hope you're doing well. Este Zerg Troll. But like a test game for Clem. I feel like we've had a number of test games already, but I will say that it is a learning process when it comes to, we spoke about this before in this morning's broadcast between Clem and Hero, where we saw that Clem at times he was like kiting back, he was kiting out of storms, but then kiting back in too soon before it ran out. So definitely there's like muscle memory involved when it comes to in your mind, in your brain, like thinking about when it would be safe to start going back in, when it's not safe. it's not safe. I mean, not safe. So definitely will take a bit to kind of get used to that sort of thing again, and to get accustomed to like the timings of certain things, and not just for Storm, but also for disruptors, right? Like likewise, like internally you kind of have an idea of when a Nova becomes available again, and how aggressive you can be after a Nova goes off, and how much time you have. I'm not saying like internally you're counting down those seconds, but you have more or less like a rough idea, but that's also going to be adjusted as well. So there's also like a learning curve to that. For things like Storm duration, for things like disruptors being, or Novas being available again. Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the the French Terran player. We have the French Terran. We have the Red Terran down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss himself, representing Virtus Pro, it is a Classic. We're so old these days. Oh no. Este Zerg. True, people that are watching right, they didn't even know who the Zerg Lord is. True, they didn't even know, baby. They didn't even know. If you're out there, if you're watching right now, if you know who the Zerg Lord is, much love. You know, baby. You know. Latino America. Latino America. Ah. I miss him. I miss him. Fun fact: he shows up every now and then. I say every now. I want to say like at the start of the year, he showed up in the chat. I want to say. He has since retired, of course. Has retired. Much love to the Zerg Lord, Brazilian Zerg player. For now we are going to be settling in. We do have once again a double gas opener out of Clem. And welcome to Magnatha. Okay, a couple of things. Welcome one and all. Magnatha is the largest map. The largest map in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. Because of that, aggression is less favored here, kind of. I would say early game aggression is less favored, but all-ins can still work at the third base. The third and fourth bases are a lot more spread out. They're spread out. There's wide entrances into the linear third. There's multiple entrances into the triangular third base as well. You have an entrance here in between the bases, so you can rotate between bases. You can be aggressive getting into a longer game state, but I would imagine that Classic, despite how large the map is, would play safe. That's what we're expecting here, is just safe play at a Classic. If he doesn't play safe, then Clem can try to punish. We saw that in the ace match between Clem and MaxPax. When MaxPax did decide to be greedier, he delayed his gases, he delayed his storm, and Clem killed MaxPax before storm could finish. So if you show weakness, if there's an opening, then Clem, he will go for it. So we'll keep an eye on the build of choice from Classic. We'll see how safe or how greedy he goes, he plays. And likewise, we'll see if Clem has an opportunity to punish. What do you mean? That's my ult account. True, true. Ah, it all makes sense. For now, we are opening up. As now we do have our 3-gate blink set up, robe on 2 bases. The next thing we're waiting for here, do we take the gases on 2 bases as well? The answer is yes. Okay. So for those who are curious, this is the same build 2 games in a row. Same build, we are staying on 2 bases longer. Classic is going for a delayed third expansion to make sure he's safe and secure, to make sure he doesn't die to any kind of early aggression. Speaking of, ooh, Clem is pushing. He is moving out early on. Knows, okay, so there is a safety shield battery. Shield battery is ready. But the tank, can we siege up? Classic does not see this. He does not see this coming ahead of time. The tank will siege. Nice setup here by Clem. The gateway is under fire, and the gateway should go down. The boys are being pulled. Does hockey the boys. That's an awkward angle here for Classic. Tank within range of Blink, but Blink will finish. It does barely finish up. Dives on the tank. Tank does go down. Oh my god, but that was an extra volley going off. Yeah, brutal tank shots. Stalkers are exposed. Shield battery is helping. There's the NG overcharge. And Classic holds. A very clutch defense here by Classic. He did lose a gateway. He lost a lot of stalkers. He's losing probes. Oh, brutal damage. They're losing a lot of workers, and I may have spoken too soon here. This is a lot of damage. Clem is going for the kill. He's going for the kill. The tank sieges. Massive tank shot goes off. And this is enough damage. This is crippling damage here. As Clem is still rallying. There's, what, 2 stalkers left. And Clem, he barely has enough. Again, very close. Imagine if Classic saw this coming ahead of time, if he was able to engage ahead of time as well and slow down the push. But Classic, he was caught with his pants down. The pants were down. He wasn't able to engage until the tanks were already within range of the gateway. And with that, Clem will make a series out of this. Or at least he should. As Classic is barely surviving. But the problem here is the economy. Classic, he's on, what, 29 workers against the 40 SCVs of Clem. Clem can just chill. He's done enough damage, he can just chill, he can back off, he can turtle up back at home. What do we have to defend? One tank. There's going to be one tank available. Classic, he does not have high ground vision. Sorry, there's two tanks. Jesus. Yeah, two tanks. Clem, he should be fine. Tank volley goes off. The War Prism is on the way, and Classic is pretty all in. Like at this point, Classic, he knows he cannot just back off and macro. It's not going to happen. He has to do some critical damage. Now, there is an opening here. As you can see, the main, right? There's no tank covering the main base, and as you can see, there's no stim, right? There's no stim, there's no combat shields. These Marines are not really that threatening. Both tanks are in the natural. This is a big oversight from Clem. The natural is secure. What about the main? Classic, he may not have enough though. Like, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Classic, what are we going for? I mean, he doesn't know what he's moving into. He's going for the natural. There's no bunker. He's going for the dive. He gets one tank, and he'll barely get the other, but he takes a lot of shots to the face. Yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth it. The main base had potential, but he went for the natural. And Classic will lose too much. It was far too much. Again, he didn't know how exposed the bases were. And with that, Clem will shut this down. Shut this down. The all-in fails. As now Classic expands, gets a third base. It's a bold move, bold third. Now what's scary here is the window is closed, and now Clem has stim, right? Clem, he has stim, he has combat shields, he has upgrades, and now he can push. Now he can move out. And there's going to be one Colossus back at home. There's going to be one Colossus. There's going to be a couple of... There's two Zealots. We got two Zealots. We got one Sentry. We got a Colossus. Let's go. Let's go. Oh no, Prism goes down across the map. And again, Classic should not be able to survive this. He should not be able to hold on. A second Colossus will help, true. Will help, but... Tank siege. Oof, tank boy's going up. Colossus goes down instantly. And now here comes the second Colossus again with the... He's dancing. I mean, the writing was on the wall. GG, well played. Shout out to Classic. As we have a tied up series. We're tied up 1-1. GG, well played. I don't often see Colossus dancing. It was a little bit weird, but GG. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But again, winding up back, essentially Clem, he went for a 2-base all-in, hyper-aggressive build out of the Terran player. What is risky about the build that he had gone for is that if he gets scattered moving out across the map, he can be slowed down, right? Ideally, the Protoss player wants to engage ahead of time, slow down the push, pick away at the Marines, pick away at the tank, force an early siege. But if you remember, Classic, he was so focused on building up on 2 bases, he actually didn't see the move out. He didn't see the army coming, so he actually didn't engage with the army until the tank already sieged up within range of the gateway, right? It's like Classic didn't realize what was happening until Clem was already at his front door. So late reaction, late response to the push. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem does snowball out of control, and now we're getting into game 3. Let's go. getting into game 3. As a reminder, this is still a best of 5, so we have a back and forth available, and ooh, we're gonna be loading into Ultra Love. Okay, loading into one of the more aggressive maps of the map pool, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the French Terran player, we have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a classic. Este niche, papi, este niche. Ay, ay, ay. Where are my TikToks? Big shout to Nish in the chat. It's been a while, papi. It's been a while. I know that, you know, you've been busy yourself, I'm sure, when it comes to, working on Sal's content and other things happening IRL, but good to see you, papi. Good to see you. I've been seeing you a little bit less around, but, I hope that you're able to, I mean, I saw you were at, Cheesedofia, right? And, are you going to SC for All, right? SC for All is also next month. True. If you're going, hope you have a good time. Otherwise, hope everything is well. Hope everything is well, pa. Este niche. Este niche. For those who don't know who Nish is in the chat, by the way, he's the infamous SC2 Observer. SC2 Observer. Who infamously, for a long time, would produce some fun TikToks, some fun little skits. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen anything out of Nish, but regardless, good to see you, papi. Good to see you. Always, always. Este Nish. So now we're settling in. Don't have a horse in this race, but I find myself on the edge of my seats. Ah, let's go. Where's your horse, papi? Where's your horse? Yeah, I think I'm very similar. Maybe that's why I haven't burnt out. When it comes to like being like a hardcore fan of StarCraft players, I'll be honest, like it's been a while. It's been a while. Obviously, if you know anything about me, you'll know that I was a big fan of the Axiom boys, of course. But you know, they've come and gone, and they're focusing on like content creation and bodybuilding nowadays, right? Like. They were my boys, papi. Ah, the Axiom boys. And Axiom Ace or adjacent players as well. It was also a little bit awkward casting like CranKy Duckling players in tournaments, like for ANZ Champs or for Latin American events as well. I would often be like a Tiger Mom, where I would be harsher on my players and less biased, or I guess biased against them in a way, because I want them to do well. Back when we had our active pro roster. For now, we do have a likewise more tech heavy start, getting into a 3-1-1 setup here. Oh my god, sorry, my apologies, I was a little bit distracted. We do have a 3-1-1. The Reapers are heading to the main. Gonna be zoned away, but a very aggressive build here by Clem. Basically, what is Clem doing? No starport. You can see delayed starport out of Clem. This is the beginning of a 2-base all-in. Hyper aggressive here. So what's happening, we're prioritizing, we're building up a heavy marine count and rushing into stim, combat shields, and we're going to be pushing with like 2 to 3 tanks. 2 to 3 tanks, a very aggressive, very bio heavy composition here for Clem. The downside is that you delay the starport, you delay medevacs, you delay ravens, banshees, and any kind of harassment option in favor of stim and tanks. So there it is. Stim is on the way. Stim is on the way. Now, Classic, he knows. Classic, he saw, he's scattered across the map, he's aware of what's going on, he will take his gases. Classic is rushing into Storm. Is Storm going to finish in time, though? That is the question. That I'm not so certain of. But again, Classic is aware. Remember, he saw everything in the main, he saw the lack of starport, he knows. With this, you can pull the boys. You can pull the boys as well. You can just send it. Hallucination does go for the rescouts. Confirms no extra gases, confirms no starports, confirms 2-base all in. And Storm is on the way. Stim is halfway done. Now, Storm won't completely shut this down, but it's going to be a brutal moment, of course, for Clem. eBay is on the way. This eBay tells us that Clem, it looks like he may not pull the boys, right? The eBay's for +1, the eBay's for a longer game. So he's going to commit with his push, but he has the option not to pull the boys and to get a third CC behind it. It's still very committed, and here he comes. And you can see that unlike game 2, this time Classic is ready to delay, right, to slow this down. So he's here to slow this down, gets a Marine. They're picking up 1, 2, 3 Marine kills. Will is the Stalker. But again, this is so important here for Classic. Getting caught out though. Yeah, getting caught out by the Reaper Hellion. Classic forces his own away. Here comes Clem, he's pushing. No, no, who is it? Indy! Indy! Okay. No! Someone's lagging. A Wardy, oh god. Oh no, out of left field. Wardy! Is he in? he's living with Indy, Pappy. Oh my god. Not like this. As we are tanks to siege, Storm is coming in, doesn't wait the first Storm. Yeah, brutal tank shots. Insane tank, oh my god. The tank shots are brutal, had Templar go down. But the Storm, no, he runs through the Storm, no! He runs through the Storm. He will lose everything. And Classic holds. Classic, he holds, he defends. Clem, he tried to escape through the Storm, Pappy. Oh no. And Classic, he will shut down the all-in. He will shut it down. We spoke earlier that because of the eBay, it meant that there was a follow-up, but this was still very committed. This still had to get damage done, and it deals 0 damage. Now we have a CC on the way, but there's nothing to defend. Yeah, there's nothing to defend here. Classic is going for the kill, going for the throat. The boys are being pulled. If Classic had 1 Storm, uno más, papi, uno más. And now he's just trading, looking in, throwing away his zealots. Clem, he will defend, he will survive this, or at least he should. He's losing a lot of Marines. A lot of Marines are going down. The medevac goes down as well. Here come more zealot reinforcements. Stalkers, they kite away. And these are still better trades for Classic, picking up 8 SCVs. Oof, Storm does land. High Templar have arrived. And you can see this is just such a difficult hold here for Clem. He lost everything. And we're still holding on to 1 final Storm. One of my shot goes off. Nice control by Classic. Where are we storming? Storm's on the bio. Yeah, Storm's on the bio army. High Templar gets surrounded. And this is game-ending damage. It's game-ending damage here. Killing 15 SCVs. Baits out the mine shots. Zealot reinforcements have arrived. Behind this, Classic getting a third base up and running, getting fully saturated. And again, Clem, he gets punished for the failed all-in. Had potential, of course. Had potential, but Classic, he saw it coming ahead of time. It was ready with the Storm. And that is going to be 28 SCV kills. There's a scan, and that is a brutal scan. That is Clem checking, and it might be his turn to start dancing. It might be his turn. Yeah. He knows. This is his version of dancing his units, because there it is. There's the dance. GG gets called, and the Classic will take a lead in the series 2-1. GG. I appreciate that both players, whenever they know they're dead, they just start dancing their units. Like, that's it's the dance of the dead, pappy. Oh my god. As the writing was on the wall there. GG, well played. With that, Classic will take a lead in the series, and Classic, he needs one more game to claim the series. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Miguelito in the chat. Aha. Miguelito. Feels TVP, man. Oh no. Look away, papi. Look away. Miguelito. Good to see you, papi. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you can stave off the smudge. Stave it off, papi. Stave it off. Here we go. Storm is rough. I mean, kind of. Like, winding it back, I'll be honest, for the 2-base all-in to be scouted the way that it was, whether it would have been this Storm or the previous Storm, I'm pretty sure Classic, like, I'm pretty sure the outcome would have been the same, to be honest. I mean, maybe the shutting down of the all-in maybe wouldn't have been as hard, and maybe Clem would have had a better chance to transition out of it. True, I think I'd probably say that. There would have been a higher chance for the game to progress and for the game to be elongated a little bit further in the previous version of the game. But I should also emphasize that the build that Clem went for is very out of fashion. It's very out of date. You don't really see it much anymore. Going for that kind of 2-base play, building up on 3 Vaxes, no star ports, stim timing with tanks. Like it's very like 2024 sort of era of StarCraft. So I'll be honest, I feel like we're getting like yep. I was gonna say, based on what we saw in Ultra Love, what I was alluding to is that it felt like a very desperate build, and we have reached peak desperation. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. As we have broken the glass. Yep. XD. We have break glass in case of emergency. In case of Smurge, we've hit critical mass of Smurge by be spawning in the bottom left hand corner. We have the French, now Protoss player. If you remember, we did reference him as half a Terran at the beginning of the broadcast. There's a reason why he's half Terran, because he's half Protoss. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is a classic. Here we go. Yes, we have reached critical mass of Smurge, papi. Oh no, not like this. But again, as we were kind of alluding to, the last game did feel very desperate when it came to the build of choice. It did feel very desperate from Clem. And, you know, once you reach a certain point of desperation, you play Protoss. That's... Oh, no. Well, let's go, buddy. Let's go. Clem soon will be 100%. Soon. It'll happen. He's getting there. He's getting there. Let's go. 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Clem. Classic goes for a gate expand. A greedy build out of Classic, and Classic is asking to be all-in. Clem, he will confirm, he will scout the gateway, sorry, he will scout the Nexus, and the pressure is now on Clem. The pressure's on Clem. Clem, he has to punish. If he doesn't, he will fall behind. So we're expecting a proxy, we're expecting an all-in. Our eyes are on Clem. Yep, eyes are on this probe. Show us what you got. No shot, he expands. Oh. Okay, let's go. Clem, he's gonna opt to expand instead. Does go for the Sentry into Stalker into Nexus. Oh boy. Bold move, Clem. Bold move. You can see Classic is looking for the proxy. Like, he's expecting Clem to respond with an all-in, so Classic is searching. And Clem, he expands. There it is. There's the Nexus. So Clem, he's gonna play from behind. Now there are ways to recover. There are ways to get across the map with the depth harass, for example. There are definitely ways to get some counter damage done. Oh boy. Now, for those who maybe haven't seen Clem play Protoss in PvP before, he has played a decent amount of Protoss recently, with mixed results. I think there's some people on Reddit that they do spread a false narrative. They're like, oh, like he beat top Protoss players with this Protoss. That is not actually true. He's taken maps. He has taken maps with this Protoss. He has not won a series with this Protoss, in PvP specifically, I mean. So he's played a little bit of Protoss against Max Packs, against Hero, against the top Protoss players in the world, and he has taken maps, as we mentioned, but not series. So we'll see how he performs. Gonna try to lock down the army, does force field, does catch the sentry. Oh, does try to. The shield battery putting in a lot of work. Yeah, the sentry does tank a lot of volleys. That was a lot of force fields invested. Classic, of course, he is aware of the base. And Classic, he can outtrade. Yeah, he can and he will. Does force back Clem. Oof. The sentry should be hunted down. Bearing in mind that Classic does have the better economy, so this is just better for Classic. And rough start for Clem. And when behind, Dark Shrine. Let's go. Now, okay, a couple of things just happened. So Clem is behind, so we have to go for something crazy. At the same time, what did Clem snipe? Oh, never mind. He sniped the sentry. True, he sniped the sentry, but we just had the warp in, we just had the NG overcharge and the hallucinations coming in, and Classic, he should scout the Dark Shrine. Oof. And Classic, he will be able to zone this away. Hallucination goes in, scouts the Dark Shrine. Was he paying attention though? I mean, he already has a robo. There's the Observer. Yeah, he should be fine. Getting his Observer, getting his third base. Classic taking an economic lead. Clem, he's desperate for damage here. Ay, ay, ay. And Clem, he knows he got scouted. He knows. Link is done. The Observer's part here at the natural. Clem does distract. DTs are walking in. They're waddling into the third. Damage is going to be done. Gets one, gets two. It's two probes. It's something. And behind this Clem, he is slowly getting his own third base up and running. He's getting there. Overall, I still give the edge to Classic. Still ahead in economy, still ahead in tech. Dodge Templar gets shut down. Ooh, oh god, a bit of a miss rally. Catching out a Stalker. See in the YouTube chat, is this the new patch? Yes. The new patch is now live on the main servers. Clem going for a massive counterattack. Nice backstab. Very nice. Blinks in. Takes down some of the Stalkers. Does force a recall. Classic caught out of position. Okay. Now Classic's army is split. As this is a difficult fight here for Classic. The Zelta do tank. Same time, Classic defends his fourth. Pulls back in between his bases. Clem still sharking around. Clem is catching up when it comes to charge. Trying to at least. Yeah, better contact for Classic. Classic, he's holding, he's defending. The War Prism is ready. And Clem just sharking around, rotating over towards the natural. Gets spotted. Classic, he does not. There we go. I was gonna say he doesn't respond with his main army. Oh, loses the Immortal. Nice pick up. I mean, Clem, he's getting some nice trades. Picks off the Immortal. Prism is still out there. And Classic is getting into the main. Going for the warp in. Classic is supply blocked. Oh, that's unfortunate. Not the time to be supply blocked. Classic is banking a lot of resources. There we go. Now he throws down a wall of pylons. So big misstep there from Classic. The Zealot Warband had potential, but doesn't really get much damage done. And Clem, he's caught up. He's very much so catching up in this game. This is now anyone's game here. Clem, he was able to get the Immortal, get some nice key pickoffs here and there. Shut down the Zealots. Caught up on bases. I'm still not in love with the composition of Clem, as he has no Archons. It's very gateway heavy. Going for the base, does get the Nexus. Nexus goes down. Classic goes out of position. Ooh, but Classic can chase. Yeah, he can chase us down. Diving on the Stalkers. Clem has to get the hell out of here. His armor is very Stalker heavy, and Classic, he can just move in. Yeah, he can just go for the kill. We mentioned before, I wasn't too fond of the composition of Clem. Clem, he has a very cheap army, just Zealot Stalker against Immortals, Archons, and the Stalker Zealot composition. Like, Classic, his army is just superior. And he's moving in. Yeah, he's going for the kill. He has momentum, he knows. He's going for the throat. Archons at the back up. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, Clem getting desperate, coming in from behind. Does get the surround. And Clem is going for the blink. Does, for example, both Immortals. Okay. Making the best out of this fight. Does make the best out of it. At the same time, Zealot Warp into the main, going for the production. Classic Black West trying to get out of here, gets locked down. Oh my Omen, the move command! Stuck in the main, stuck at the ramp. Meanwhile, Zealot's mainly killing production buildings, nothing major. But +3 is going to be delayed. Yeah, he delays +3. Classic, he has the better economy. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Classic. Blinks down to the low ground, let's go. And again, it was a desperation hold here from Clem. He does survive at least, but he's lost so much. He's lost so much. Clem is essentially all in. As he lost the upgrade advantage. Back at home, Classic just has to focus on his Immortals, his Archons, his Stalkers. Just build back up. I mean, Clem, he had an impressive recovery in this game. True. Was impressive. But things are looking bleak once again for Clem. Sold on Clem's swap, but he's a good. I mean, he is. As I mentioned, like, he's taken maps off of Hero, he's taken maps off of Max. Like, as I mentioned, like, he's taken maps. Like, he is straight up one of the best Protoss players in the world. But I would still favor Hero, Max, and Classic is the thing. Like, like Clem, he might be top 5. He might be top 5 Protoss. But still not quite there. As he does get into the base. At the same time, Classic comes in from behind. It does collapse in from behind, chasing down the final army. He does get into the middle. Probes are going down. That's a lot of probe deal. That's a lot of probe kills. It's a lot of damage. Getting 15 probe kills at the same time, also pushing towards the natural, but Classic does defend. Again, the biggest concern here is still the quality of the army. Clem, he's still stuck with purely Stalker Zealots. Classic reinforcing with more Archons. More charge lots. Ooh, and here comes Classic. How'd you get the Stalkers? Da-da. Clem, get out of here. The army is split. Okay. Clem going for the counterattack as well, going for the base trade. Can he out micro Classic and try to take this in some way, shape, or form? Yeah, he commits to the base trade. Let's go. Pushing into the natural. At the same time, Classic also pushing in as well. The base trade is the best chance for Clem. Remember, Clem, he cannot fight the main army head on. He cannot fight it. He has to avoid it instead. Gets into the natural, gets into the fourth. At the same time, Clem, he does get a ninja base bottom right. He does get the ninja expansion. There's still one probe out there for Clem. Meanwhile, Classic, he also potentially can escape with some workers. Potentially. If not... Okay, he does. Okay, does have them. Classic, he can't afford a Nexus. He's got the boys. He's got the probes. Kills the fourth. Kills the main. These probes, they do not get away. But again, thankfully, Clem has bottom right. He has that expansion. Clem is getting into the main. And the question becomes, Classic, does he find this base? Now, Clem, he can afford another Nexus. He has the money for it. As Classic is searching, you can see he's veering off. He does find the base. And GG gets called. Classic, he will take the series 3-1. Again, the base trade was the best chance for Clem, but still not enough. GG. Classic will be this week's LiuLi Cup champion. GG, well played. Classic will claim the series. He will take the 3-1. Shout out to Clem for making a series out of this, of course, and of course was able to showcase his Protoss as well. Not the first time we've seen his Protoss against Protoss. As I mentioned before, we've seen Clem take maps off of Max Packs and take maps off of Hero. Like, he has done that with his Protoss. True. So he's definitely up there when it comes to his Protoss skills, but alas was yeah, he was outscaled by Classic. It was a really rough start. As a reminder, Clem was playing from behind almost the entire game. Remember, Classic went for a faster base, he went for a faster natural, he had a better economy, and Clem started with a standard opener instead, so he was playing catch-up for a long time. If you remember, he fell behind, that's why he went DTs. The DTs didn't do enough damage either. Eventually, Clem did recover in a way, but he was stuck with a very low-tier army, stuck with purely Zealots and Stalkers. That is why he could never fight head-on. That's why whenever he did, Classic would win those fights. Like, Classic was just having these better engagements, better fights. In the end, did force the base trade. That was the best chance, the best option for Clem. But GG well played, in the end Classic does take it. Congratulations, and with that we have our champion. Oh boy, and with that we're wrapping up patch day. 2 casts today. We had a Pigasaur Cup this morning and LiuLi Cup this evening, so 2 casts, both featuring the new patch, and players are still adjusting, they're still accommodating. Once again, unfortunately, we had very little Zerg gameplay. I would love to see mid to late game ZVT. I would love to see that on the recent patch, but we didn't get any of that because the Zerg, they're not making it, Pappy. Whether it was Pigasaur Cup or this tournament as well, Zerg players are having a really hard time actually progressing in these tournaments. Here we did have a good showing of Zerg. We had Lambo, we had Mixu, we had Rogue, but they all did go down early. Rogue, if you can see here, he went down to Skilless early on, Lambo went down to Trigger, and Mixu went down to Classic. So in the end, we didn't really get to see and to experience too much Zerg gameplay in the tournament, but more so PvT, and again, there's still a learning curve there as well. I feel like players are still adjusting. In general, I would say that Storm is a buff to Protoss. I would say it's a strong buff to Protoss against Zerg, and it's a moderate buff against Terran. I say moderate because, as we've seen, Clem, he did beat Max Packs, but his kind of trajectory or his approach to Max Packs was all in. Like, he was able to kill Max Packs every game before Storm Tech. Once we get into Storm, I will say that's a big power spike for the Protoss, and if we can get past that, then things do kind of, do they level out a little bit? Gets into a back and forth with Colossus with a more robust, like, splash damage heavy composition. We saw that more so between Clem and Trigger. If you did see that series, I do recommend it. It was a very fun series and very back and forth as well. Especially game 1 on Torches was very intense between Clem and Trigger. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time here when it comes to the new patch. There's other changes that we haven't experienced yet. This is also why it's a little bit of a shame that we didn't really get to see much Zerg gameplay because of the new Microbial Shroud. Like, that's a big change. Like, the Infestor having Microbial Shroud with a 50% reduced damage from range attacks, that is a big upgrade. That's a big thing. We're not seeing that though, because we're not getting to that point. So I'm hoping that we get to see some Zerg gameplay later on to be able to bear witness to the Microbial Shroud and to bear witness to the Infestor and see how that works. I do think that's going to impact mainly ZVT. I think it's going to be mainly a ZVT upgrade, just because players are already getting Infestors and already prioritizing Hive Tech and getting into Ultras. That's already the meta in ZVT, is to rush into Hive Tech, rush into Ultras with Infestor support. That's going to be like a little bit more of a natural kind of way to supplement that army, of course, is getting Microbial Shroud. And there are, of course, other changes that we have yet to really experience, like Mutaplay. True, like the Spire costs and Mutaplay is more accessible, so we could be seeing more Muta in ZVT. Lingbane Muta could be back. We just haven't seen it. We haven't seen ZVT, so we... So it would be cool to see if that does make a return in Zerg vs. Terran. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Was a very fun event, and we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Quinton Suit in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months, half a year of support. Sorry, 6 months in a row, or 6 months in advance. My apologies. 10 months. Thank you, Quinton. Thank you. Do appreciate it. I don't like Protoss. You don't like Clem? Ah, how could you not like Clem, Pappy? Smurge. You should like Clem. As behind this, we do have our schedule. We do have our schedule here. So when it comes to our weekly schedule, you can see we just wrapped up with the the Wednesday evening broadcast. We originally were going to be casting Starfest qualifiers tomorrow morning, but I will say this now. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be available. There are things that are happening. There are things that are, unfortunately, there's just something else that's taking up my time. So I will not be able to cast the Starfest qualifier tomorrow morning. There's going to be a Starfest qualifier Thursday morning and Friday morning. I was going to cover both, but I'm unavailable for both of those casts. So the next broadcast on the channel should be the Pondcast. If you don't know what that is our weekly talk show. Every single week we do go live with a talk show, a bit of a podcast, going over all things StarCraft. That's going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours. We have another Wardy TV Monday on Friday. Wardy, he's having 2 weeklies this week, so it's going to be on Friday. And of course we have the Starfest qualifiers on Saturday, which I should be able to cast, and Tunic Cup on Sunday as well. With that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. If you want to support us here on the channel, the Patreon does specifically fund our tournaments. You can see here our current goal on Patreon, 542 USD a month out of 500. We of course have another stretch goal that we are working on to boost the prize pool even further for our tournaments and work towards monthly finals. So thank you so much for all the support on Patreon. Thank you, Papi, thank you. We do appreciate it. Do appreciate the support. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. You can also check out the VODs. If you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, check out the VODs over on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be, so you can support us there. All the VODs are available. Twitch no longer supports VODs. Twitch, they no longer support VODs, so YouTube is the place to be for VOD content. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. See you next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you tomorrow.